What up, though, people? Thank you for pushing play on the Lions Word vlog. We are on chapter, what is this, 16? No, 14. I was about to say, I'm not on chapter 16. I'm on chapter 14, and that's what it is. I got a little confused there. Very, very, extremely short chapter right here. But I'm going to post it as short as it's going to be. It's going to be shorter than all the other ones around it. But it's always deep things being said when you're dealing with wise words, when you're dealing with ancient sources, and when you're dealing with someone who really loves dealing with these things. It's always something to be said, always something to be learned, always something to be taught, always something to be earned. All right, let's keep it pushing and let's go ahead and jump into chapter 14 of the second book of Adam and Eve. We not listen after this is probably like 7 more chapters. So we're gonna be done like probably within the next week or so, and then we're gonna be moving back up into Genesis. So that's gonna I'm excited for that because I'm ready to get back up into Genesis and see what happens. I did feel a prompt on my spirit to where if once we get like when Enoch's words start getting mentioned, I think we might jump into the books of Enoch. I think at the point where it speaks on anything about him writing or the fact that you know, he wrote down and transcribed his the prophecies and things. Yeah, I think it would be perfect time to where it first mentions it to just deviate and dip down into them and then go right back up into Genesis again. We might deviate out of Genesis about 3 different times before we actually get out of it. But once we get out of Genesis, I don't think we have any more deviations outside books until like King's Chronicles, the book of Ecclesiastes and Solomon's writings and things, because definitely we're gonna deal with the keeping the gas the keeping the gas up in there. We're gonna deal with it's a lot of things that they got to get dealt with on this vlog, but the Most High said deal with it and read it and open it up and open dialogue, and let's at least just present it to people so that they can see and understand like, hey, this could be something. Dig in and research it, if you will, and maybe perhaps God might show you something about yourself or himself. Let's go ahead and jump into this chapter 14, which is going to be very short. Time, like an ever-rolling stream, bears away another generation of men. Very interesting. Very short. You're about to see. When Enos was 900 years old, all the children of Seth and Canaan and his firstborn with their wives and children gathered around him, asking for a blessing from him. He then prayed over them and blessed them and adjured them by the blood of Abel, the just, or meaning he prompted them and pulled them into promise by the blood of Abel, the just, saying to them, let not one, I don't know what's going on with me right now with my reading. I'm sorry, my pronunciation. Bear with me. Let not one of your children go down from this holy mountain, and let them make no fellowship with the children of Cain, the murderer. So now you have Seth saying this, you have Enos saying this. So you see that there's a difference in the people. It just is what it is. You know how you get them people in modern times be like, oh, you think you better than me, huh? You think you better than us. That's a deflection. Yeah, I am better than you, because if you own some low vibing, sinful, dark junk and you need to step your game up and you ask me that mentally and emotionally and spiritually, yeah, I am. Because what I'm not going to do is sit in the background and succumb to your low vibing energy. Do you understand? So I'm just saying. He then prayed over them and blessed them and adjured them. We read that already. Don't make no fellowship with the children of Cain, the murderer. All right. Separate yourself. Why would you can't be around the children of Cain, the murderer. Why? They have zero respect for you, what you believe, your people, and anything. And trust us, you would be praying your eyes out and they would still be doing things to you. It wouldn't even matter. Stay away from them. That's what you can do to avoid that. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Then Enos called his, and it was said to Adam, it was said to Seth, it was said to Enos, and they followed it. Just like Cain's people followed out the silly junk they was on. Like we just saw with Lamech in the last chapter. What was that last chapter, y'all? That junk was Lamech on some, he crazy. Then then Enos called his son Canaan and said to him, see, O my son, and set thy heart on thy people, and establish them in righteousness and in all innocence, and stand ministering before the body of our father Adam all the days of thy life. Okay, respect and reverence, and what, these things that we've learned from Adam, like let's respect that, because that's how we know. So all the days of your life with that one. After this, Enos entered into rest, aged 985 years. Like I said, I don't know if that was how long they were living, if we're getting these times wrong, if they added 100 years, if it really was only 85 years. I don't know. But what I do know is that it means that it's representing that this is the end of his life. Okay. And Canaan wound him up. Okay. Like he could have lived for, his posterity could have been 985 years, the seed upon the earth. But it's saying at the moment he died, because the posterity continues. He still got kids and grandkids and everything, and they all living. But at the moment he dies, then Canaan would wound him up and laid him in the cave of treasures on the left of his father Adam, and made offerings for him after the custom of his father. So what he saw his father and his father's father, his grandson, like all that, Adam and his father, he did it. Okay, which is smart. Like, hey, this is work for my dad. Like we know opposite. Like, if you don't give the offering, look what happened to Cain. Look at Cain and his people. They have an actual identity and a picture of who to look at to say, yo, look, we don't have to look too far to see. You look at the base of the mountain and you see what they've done. You see how they act. You see what they do. That's what happens when you don't raise yourself up the way that you're supposed to. The offering is a sign to help you remember, like, hey, raise yourself up. Keeps you in check. Like I've said before, because you had the regular tithes that everyone gave for the betterment of the group. Like that sacrifice was used as festival meat, clothing, a horn for the shofar, down the list, except for the parts they couldn't use. They had to take them parts and just dispose of them a certain way, right? So that sacrifice was beneficial for the people, but it was sacrificed. It was slaughtered or butchered, if you will, in a way that, because they still do that. Like they butcher animals. That's how you get your Thanksgiving. Like people be, you eat meat. That's how you get your. I don't know what you want me to tell you. So, so when they butcher these animals, it's the ritual and the rite and the thing in the mental and the emotional and the heart that reminds you of step your game up. That's what it's all about. It's not so much that the blood or the actual thing of the sacrifice or like, I don't know, like all this others is not even about that. It's about keeping you mentally and spiritually and emotionally and verbally. This is really all mental up here. Really is all mental. But this for real is dealing with the mental, the brain and the head and the eyes and the throat, right? So that's about it, I think. I hope that I didn't leave. I feel like I was leaving a good piece of commentary and I maybe left it open-ended. The throat, head, alignment. You know what? When that happens, I always said, hey man, I ain't got nothing else to say. So we about at 10 minutes. That's cool. Like I said, about 15 to 25. I told y'all this was gonna be short, so I don't have nothing to say. Right here, they do have a picture. It's a fact. I want to read this real fast. So if you're not interested, you can go to the next video. But I'm gonna read this. It's a facsimile of an actual page of the original Gutenberg Bible. The first successful printing was done in 1450 AD when Gutenberg printed the Old Testament in Latin. I always tell people the scriptures were originally transferred into Latin first, the Vulgate. I always tell people that. They'll never want to listen. When you go look at the Vulgate, you will understand what books was originally with the scrolls and the Hebrews. I don't care what them doggone Europeans and them Council of Nicaea, I don't care what they said. So when Gutenberg printed the Old Testament Bible in Latin, there are about 45 copies of the precious Gutenberg Bible in existence that have survived the chances of Europe and its wars for 500 years. And it has a picture in there, and that picture is of European Adam and Eve. You can't make it up. So that's why they probably would have wanted that too, like to make it about them and not where they know who it really was about. But it's all good. Most High is revealing it right now. Y'all keep coming back. It's been the Lions Roar vlog. Thank you for pushing play. If this resonates with you, you probably know somebody it would resonate with. Send it to them. And let's keep figuring out what we got going on, all right? I'm not trying to make no new doctrine. I'm not, hey, you follow Yahshua. Follow Yahshua, dog. Like, don't. This is a vlog for entertainment purposes and educational purposes if you go research and dig into what I'm saying. If you just want to come here and listen to me talk, then you're just being entertained. But I'm telling you now, the last thing I'm doing is creating any sort of weird new doctrine, or the last thing I'm doing is telling you not to follow the Most High or not to follow Yahshua or the Spirit. Nope, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there's a lot of lies that we dumping on their heads, and I ain't the one who lied about it. So if you feel some type of way, take it up with the people who lied about it or take it up with the Most High, because you can't really take it up with me. Y'all be blessed. Dudes, pieces.